Welcome back to Blackboard English Grammar. My name is Heather Ziegler. Today we're going to talk about demonstrative determiners. But of course, before we get into today's lesson, let's do a quick review. So the noun phrase NP. The noun phrase can start with a determiner phrase. And we know there's three positions in the determiner phrase. And you might have a determiner phrase with two central determiners and possibly maybe two different types of post determiners. But we have to realize when we can do this and when we cannot do this. Most of the time I say they cannot co-occur because that is true. You got to choose. But there are times that you can have a co-occurrence with them. And we definitely need to start exploring that. You might have an adjective phrase in your noun phrase that is an attributive position. You also can have an adjective phrase possibly behind the noun phrase. And remember, we call that post-positive. And of course, the noun phrase is going to have a noun. And this entire noun phrase can be replaced by a pronoun. We have now talked about personal pronouns in the subjective and objective case. And we also talked about demonstrative pronouns. A verb phrase requires a verb, and so does every sentence in English. We require a verb. Now, this verb can have a primary auxiliary verb in front of it, creating a tense. And we talked about present progressive tense so far. So it's going to have some form of to be as the primary auxiliary verb and present participle. We also talked about simple present tense when the verb can conjugate in third person singular form with S or ES at the end. But always remember, English has three highly irregular verbs, to be, to have, and to do. And they're going to take their own conjugations based off the subject being singular, plural, and person. Now, this verb is going to dictate what comes behind it. If it's an intransitive verb, it requires no complement at all. We call that zero complement. If this verb is transitive verb, you're going to have a direct object. You might have a direct object plus an indirect object. If this verb is an intensive verb, you have maybe a predicate noun or a predicate adjective. List of demonstrative determiners: this, that, these, and those. This and that is singular. And this is near to you, and that is far from you. Plural. These and those. These is near to you, and those is far from you. Demonstrative determiners, also known as demonstrative adjectives, modify nouns. And they're going to tell you if they're singular or plural items you're referencing, and how far the item is to the person. Demonstrative determiners always come before the noun. Archaic demonstrative determiners yon and yonder. Both are interchangeable meanings for the noun not being near the speaker. We're going to add demonstrative determiners in our determiner phrase. Three are considered central determiners. It's time to evaluate some sentences together. This coffee maker works great. This coffee maker is the noun phrase and subject of the sentence. This is a determiner, demonstrative determiner. Coffee maker is the noun, concrete noun, countable noun, singular noun, common noun, and a compound noun. Works great is a verb phrase and the predicate of the sentence. Now, works is a verb, stative verb, intensive verb. Great is an adjective, descriptive adjective, and a predicate adjective. I understand if you consider works dynamic as well. I just kind of realized that works can go both ways. For the dynamic meaning, I would probably say this coffee maker is working great. But I understand how works can be considered dynamic as well. That well is providing clear water. That well is the noun phrase and the subject of the sentence. That is a determiner, demonstrative determiner. Well is a noun, concrete noun, countable noun, singular noun, and a common noun. Is providing clear water is the verb phrase and the predicate of the sentence. Is an auxiliary verb and a primary auxiliary verb. Providing is a verb, dynamic verb, extensive verb, transitive verb, present participle. Now clear water. Now clear water is a noun phrase and the direct object. Clear is an adjective, descriptive adjective, and an attributive adjective. Water. Water is a noun, concrete noun, collected noun, and a common noun. This is a declarative sentence, so it ends with a period. These rowdy children are dancing. These rowdy children is the noun phrase and the subject of the sentence. These is a determiner, demonstrative determiner. Rowdy. Rowdy is an adjective, descriptive adjective, attributive adjective. Children is a noun, a concrete noun, a countable noun, a plural noun, an irregular noun, and a common noun. Are dancing is the verb phrase and the predicate of the sentence. Are is a axillary verb, primary axillary verb. Dancing is a verb, dynamic verb, extensive verb, and intransitive verb. Remember, these two verbs, the helping verb, also known as the axillary verb, and dancing, the present participle, are creating a tense, and this tense is present progressive tense. This is a declarative sentence, so it's ending in a period. Those loaves are rising. Those loaves is the noun phrase and the subject of the sentence. Those is the determiner, demonstrative determiner. Loaves is a noun, concrete noun, countable noun, plural noun, and a common noun. Are rising is the verb phrase and predicate of the sentence. Are is an axillary verb, primary axillary verb. Rising is a verb, dynamic verb, extensive verb, and intransitive. This is a declarative sentence, so it ends with a period. It's time for some practice and taking notes. Pause the video so you can write down the notes. Draw boxes in different colors for each type of phrase. Classify the words in the sentences. 1. This new large iPhone costs $1,000. Number 2. Those purple and blue flowers look amazing. Number 3. These 6 smelly monsters are planning a long vacation. Write 3 sentences with demonstrative determiners and draw boxes in different colors for each type of phrase. Classify the words in the sentences. Here are the lessons we've covered so far. In lesson 29, we're going to use coordinating conjunctions combining subjects and verbs with and. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye!